First of all, I just want to say that I am not rich, nor do I believe that this is some pseudo-science thing. I am, however, 21 years old. As you can see, this is my office. Obviously, it's not as small as this picture. This is the exact plan. This is the exact chair that I'm sitting right here. I'm not BSing you. This is the recent transaction that came into my company bank account, which is 17 November, 15K, and about 18 November, 11 something. Yeah. So in the span of 2 days, I made about 22 plus thousand dollars as a 21-year-old. The most I've ever made in a single month was about 60 to 70 plus thousand dollars every single month. Right? I have no proof to show you. I have no Stripe bank account to show you. I have no cars, no watches to show you my status in the real world. So you either trust me based on what I see and how I explain my concept, or you just comment down below and tell me that it's a shitty video that wasted your time. Okay. Now the first thing that I'll be going through is this. This is something that will relate to whatever law that I'm going to be talking to you next, which is the more you put something on a pedestal, the harder it'll be for you to get it. Now, for this to make sense, I need you to imagine a situation where you had a big crush, a massive crush on somebody. It could be back when you were in school, it could be at a part-time job, it could be right now, it could be when you were 4-year-old. I don't really care. But imagine, like, go back to the situation, or if it's right now, go back to that situation. That will be easier for me to explain, and think about how hard it was for you to strike up a conversation with that particular person. Absolutely hard, wasn't it? Right? Even though it's just a normal person who takes a shit too, you felt like it's difficult to talk to that person because there's a perceived importance to her or him or whatever whatever you believe in, right? But it's her. So the reason why it's hard for you to talk to her, even though she's just a normal person, is because there's a perceived importance to it and you put her on a pedestal. And the thing that I'll be talking about today is called law of detachment. Law of detachment just means the release of attachment to specific outcomes, or in simple terms, not caring about results. Oh, how can I not care about results if I started a business, or if I'm doing all this because of X, right? I'm doing X because I need Y. Calm down. Just to be crystal clear, I started my business because I had to pay bills, I had to pay rents, I had to pay for things in life. What I'm just saying is, it's come to a point where I understood that I thought that was the reason why, but it actually is not. It's not. If you need to do it to pay your bills and pay your rent, go ahead, go do it. What I'm just saying is, I've reached a point in life where I realized that that is not the reason why I started. I thought it was it, but I was wrong. Let me explain, right? So now, how will the law of detachment benefit you in your life, in your business journey, in your entrepreneur mindset, in your fitness journey, in your spiritual journey? First of all, you will finally understand the phrase trust the process. Now, trust the process is an easy thing to say, but it's a very hard thing to fathom and conceptualize. But once you properly apply this phrase trust the process and internalize it, right, it will genuinely change your life. The only proof I can show you that it has helped me trust the process is this example right here. Now, I'm a marketing firm or marketing agency. So what I do is I run ads for clients, I run ads for myself. That's how I make money, that's how I make clients money. You can see here, I'm spending about $400 per day in ad spend. I spend a total of 8.7K from 24th of October until 17th of November. Okay, so it wouldn't, trusting the process is easy if I spend 8K and I make 50, 100K back. But if there are days like this where I spend $400 and I don't get any results, that's where trusting the process gets hard. And that's where the law of detachment helped me in becoming the person that I want to be. I'll get into that later on. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you are most probably you're like-minded individual in pursuit. You are in pursuit of something. It could be anything, but you are in pursuit. And for you to be in pursuit, it just means that you went out of the ordinary mediocre path. You are a bit unique in the way that you choose to perceive life. Okay? And the thing about being in pursuit and not being in the formatted way of living life is that there are a lot of uncertainty that comes with it. Like, for example, myself, I quit school 1 week before graduating. I quit nursing 1 week before graduating. Literally, I had 7 days left on a 2-year course and I quit. Why? I had my reasons, which is I didn't want a safety net. I either get rich or die trying, right? So there is a bunch of uncertainty that comes into place. What I'm just saying is, if I understood this law of detachment back away, when I was 17 or 18, life would be way easier. Because at the end of the day, you are going to get to the result that you are looking for, right? I've never seen anybody try their absolute best and fail. I've never, never before in my life. So if you try your absolute best, you are definitely going to get to the result. What I'm just saying is, how do you want to get to the result? Do you want to get in a result where you're in a sporadic emotional beach mentality way, or do you want to get to the result in a very positive, you know, life is fine, blah blah blah, oh I just lost 5k, no problem, pump, next step, blah blah blah, right? It's probably the latter. You want to be in a state where you actually enjoy the process and you trust the process. So that's number one right there. Number two would be quality of life will increase. Once you trust the process, your quality of life will inevitably increase. And for me to explain this, I first have to explain this law of the universe, which is cause and effect. If you do X, you will get Y. Okay. Now the two examples that I have is, number one, if I go up to a random Joe on the street and I say, hey Joe, if you eat salad and chicken breast the next 365 days, that's all you can eat, and you have to work out twice a day, what do you think is going to be a likelihood of you getting a six-pack? Probably super high. And he will probably agree that, yep, I am going to get six-pack too, unless he's a woke individual, right? And but yeah, that's beside. If he's a normal dude and he's logical, he's like, yeah, I'm probably going to get a six-pack, right? So that's cause and effect, which means that if you do X, you will get Y. Or in Alex Hormozy terms, it's volume negates luck. Now, before I give this example, right, I have to explain to you that I'm not the best in any sports that require my leg. I'm absolutely shit in it, like atrocious, dude. I can't even kick a ball. I can't balance the ball on my leg. I'm absolutely bad with it. But if you told me that, hey Juta, for the next 365 days, you are going to kick a ball in this particular way and this particular angle, and I need you to run to the ball in this format and kick the ball in this way so that it goes to the net in this way, blah blah blah, and you were to tell me to do that for the next 365 days, which means for 365 100,000 times I'm going to kick a ball, I'm probably going to get 80 to 90% better than anybody out there, right? So it's just that cause and effect. When you get into your entrepreneur journey, or when you get into a journey that is uncertain, right, the sudden thought of cause and effect doesn't come into your mind. But when it comes to school, hey, if I study hard, I will get the A. It makes sense. But when it comes to life, hey, if I work hard on my business, I will make money. It doesn't make sense. And then it goes back to this uncertainty. So the law of detachment, it really helps you fathom things out in a very logical way, which is the next point. Okay, so this is the topic. This is the other thing that I want to say, which is tawakkul too. Because sometimes you can try your absolute best, but if the higher power and the universe does not allow you to get there, you won't get there. And the best example I can give you is, if I had an alien genetic where I can't lose a single percentage of my fat, not even 0.1% of my fat. Regardless of what I do, I can't get that goal, because the higher universe and the God and the power of the Lord does not allow me to get there. Okay, the best example that I can give is, okay, this is the favorite sentence I have, and this is a line that I made up myself, which is, the goal isn't the goal is the pursuit towards the goal. Right? Which is over here, when I was explaining this thing right here, Rent Builds Life, I thought that this was the goal. I thought that the goal was to have financial freedom, blah blah blah. And don't get me wrong, it still kind of is. That's like 5% of what I'm still doing it. What I've understood and conceptualized right now is, the goal is what I'm doing right now. Is the effort towards it. Is the chase towards the goal. When you have a test coming up, okay, and you study really hard until 4 a.m. You're drinking the Monster Energy, the Red Bulls, whatever. You're doing anything you can to stay up. When you get the A, are you happy? Kinda. But 10 years in the future, what do you remember most? Getting the A, or the fact that you studied and you remember that, I stayed out with John till 3 a.m. and we were cracking out about this. We tried to focus, we couldn't focus. Which one do you remember most? The story, the staying up. So that's what I'm trying to say. The pursuit itself is the goal. The goal of getting that A is the artificial goal that you make up in your mind for you to believe that that's what you want, where it isn't. This is a perfect example that I have in mind. So this was when I was 18 years old. Okay, I was doing food delivery, so it's called Food Panda. So I don't know, it could be Uber Eats or Deliveroo or GrabFood, whatever it is in your country or wherever you're from, right? I used to work about 12 to 14 hours every single day just doing this, and I was earning maybe about $200, $300 per day doing this. Okay, now where I'm trying to get to this point of tawakkul, which is doing your best in your human capabilities, is that I worked really hard. I tried my absolutely best. The reason why I was doing all these part-time jobs is so that I could gain money to, number one, before going into national service, which I will get into that later on. National service is something that all 18 to 20-year-old men in Singapore have to go through and serve the nation for 2 years, but I'll go through that later on. Number two is, I also wanted to save money so I could start running ads. Right? I could start adventuring and seeing if what I do will work and how will I tweak things. As of right now, I spend a lot of money on ads. I've spent a lot of money on mentorship. So which is why when I talk, there's certain confidence behind it. But at that point of time, I needed to lose some of my money first for me to even have some confidence of reaching out to clients. So I was working hard. I had quite some money saved up, and then this example right here is a bus banging my bike. Something broke in my bike, which cost me my entire savings that I had and the entire thing that I worked hard for. And without this bike, I wouldn't have any source of income. I wouldn't have any source of growth because I couldn't run any ads. So this is what I mean tawakkul. You can try your absolute best, but sometimes the higher universe just doesn't allow it to happen, and it could be for whatever reason, right? At the end of the day, he's the wisest. He knows what's best for you. It's going to be a topic for another day. So that's that. That's number 2. So number 1, trust the process. Number 2, what's number 2 again? Number 2 is cause and effect, right? Quality of life increase. Number 3, we should be a higher state of frequency. Now 3 and 4 relates a lot, and if you're not into thingy manjigi things with no clear definition, just bear with me for a bit. This will make sense. Number 3 is higher state of frequency, which means that the likelihood of you feeling depressed, despair, doubt, upset, sad, it's not going to be there. Will you still be there? Yeah. If I had the law of detachment here, will I feel depressed or upset? Not really. Maybe a bit, but I wouldn't care. I'm like, that's life. It's fine. Let's just work towards it again. But I did not feel like that because I felt like, oh shoot, now I'm not in control anymore. Everything is uncertain back. It would take an additional 6 months for me to get this, that, blah, blah, blah. But if I had a law of detachment in mind, I would have a higher state of frequency. Things would just be, it's fine. Move forward next. Right? So the best example I can give you this is, imagine you're a trader. You're a forex, crypto, stocks trader, whatever it is. Let's just say that right now we are running it based on emotions. If you are constantly feeling depressed and hopeless and you feel like you're shit and life is trying to bite your bite and whatever it is, you're always going to make bad decisions. It's just how it works. If you feel like shit, you're going to make shitty decisions. Because your thoughts create emotions, your emotions create actions, your actions create your reality. And if you have negative thoughts which leads to negative emotions, your reality is all going to be shit. Because it's going to be based on how you think. Repeat that once again. Okay? So, if you're a trader, you probably want to feel a state of hope, a state of positive, a state of like, okay, I got this, okay, I know what I'm doing, I'm in control, I can look at the numbers. Oh shit, I just lost $1,000. It's fine, that's life, let's look at the numbers. Okay, I made back $3,000. If you were just in the negative state, oh, I lost $2,000, oh shit, man, life sucks, then what's the point, right? So, which leads to number 4, which is making logical, non-emotional decision. When you make logical, non-emotional decision, your life will be propelled drastically, right? If, let's put it this way, let's just say that, let me give you my personal example. I am right now kind of on a diet. And my diet is entirely based on how I feel, which is very unorthodox because most people track their calories, most people do this, most people do that, which I've done for the past 5 years, and this is something new that I want to try, which is just eating based on how I feel and based on how, I am on a daily basis. So, if I am feeling shit, I will eat like shit. If I am feeling good, I'll probably eat good. If I feel like I'm hopeless and this weight loss thing wouldn't work, or this cutting thing wouldn't work, then I will eat bad because I'm hopeless. If I feel good and I'm hopeful, I will eat good. This is the simplest way to put it. And this is why I'm eating like either clean or moderately clean most of the time, because I'm in a state of frequency where I'm always okay. I'm making logical, non-emotional decision, and I'm feeling constant. I don't feel sporadic. I don't feel emotional, and that's the thing that the law of detachment will help with you, especially if you're in the pursuit of an entrepreneur journey, right? You don't want to feel sporadic. You don't want to feel like you don't have things controlled in life, even if that's the truth, because sometimes that's the tough part about life, which is things are sometimes not in your control. But if you have law of detachment there with you, getting you in a higher state of frequency, getting you to trust the process, getting you a higher quality of life, making you make logical, non-emotional decision, then your life will be better. Because just like what I said just now, at the end of the day, you are going to get the same results. Which route do you want to go to? Do you want the route where you feel like shit all the time, or do you want the route where it's nice and enjoyable, right? This is a perfect example that I can give you. So this is an image of me riding a bicycle here in an island called Coney Island in Singapore. So it looks like cool photo greeneries and all that, but let me tell you the state of mind that I had back then. So to give you context, this was when I just entered into national service. I lost quite a lot of money on something, a bunch of things that I couldn't control in life. I only had about $100 in my pocket. I went to this island with my spouse, my girlfriend at the point of time, and renting this bike right here for myself and for her is about $80, which then left me with $20 in my pocket. And that was a very bad mental moment to be in. It sucked. It sucked. And you've probably been in that shoes too. It sucks. Or you're maybe currently in that shoe too. It sucks. And there's a lot of things that went through my mind at that point of time. For the next 6 to 8 hours of the entire day, I was in a very low depressive state of frequency, which is why am I not where I want to be? Why do I suck? Why can't I even make money? Why is this happening to me? But not in a way where I'm blaming the universe. It's in a way where I'm blaming myself. And now that I look back at it, I'm asking myself, how did that help me in any way possible? Right? How did that help me in any way possible? Don't get me wrong, being in rock bottom, like getting to rock bottom in life is sometimes good, because rock bottoms builds a solid foundation for a tall, high skyscraper, right? What I'm saying is, if things like this happens in life, where I had $20 and I couldn't control the state of my mind, I was just too attached to the money in the first place. Right now, if you left $5 in my bank account, I'll be fine. And I know that most people say that, most materially successful people say that, which I don't consider myself to be in, considering that there are people out there making millions of dollars every single month. But that's beside the point. But I'm telling you with like a full heart, if you left me with $5 in my pocket, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. First of all, because I know that I have the skills, obviously, to make the money back. The second thing is, I'm detached, and I understand that that wasn't the goal in the first place. The pursuit towards the goal. So that's that, and this just proved that I was in national service as a fireman, sleeping. So yeah, that's the law of attachment. Release all your emotional attachment to a specific outcome in order to achieve it. Remember that crush example just now. If you didn't care about her too much, if you didn't put her on a pedestal, it'd be easy for you to get her, right? This is why playboys can easily get girls. And yeah, because like at the point of time where all I did was just date a bunch of girls, it was easy for me because I didn't care. And that's the thing that made it easy. I didn't care about how they reacted. I don't care about what they said. It doesn't matter to me. I'm like, fine, next girl. Same thing with your goal. You don't really care about what happens in your life. You lost $1,000, it's fine. That's life. I'm doing it for the sake of the pursuit, not for the sake of the money. Fathom that, okay? And remember this line: the goal isn't the goal is the pursuit towards the goal. Now, go back to the top right here. If you like it, give me a like. If you feel like this is some BS, tell me down in the comments below. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.